Now, over the last 4 years of being a climbing nerd, I have learned how to consistently progress on the wall and break plateaus. But there's one mistake that I still sometimes make, and that is trying to do too many things. When we want to get better and stronger, we go online and start gathering information on training, mindset, and technique. But the quantity of information out there leaves us overwhelmed and discourages us to put all this new knowledge into action. And that's where a fundamental book like Beastmaking can come into play. Writer Ned Feehally cuts through the noise of climbing training content and provides a practical starting point for climbers who want to learn how to train. Now, if you haven't heard of Ned Feehally is a British climber from the Peak District and co-founder of Beastmaking, a company that produces the wooden fingerboards you've undoubtedly seen in your climbing gym. In the introduction of the book, Feehally writes how he reached a point in his training where he was no longer seeing improvement despite spending countless hours on the wall. He plateaued and couldn't break through to higher grades, and it wasn't until he began to add specific strength training to his routines that he started to see progress again and began climbing at levels he had only ever dreamed of. In 2021, he wrote up what he learned in Beastmaking, a book to help all climbers who are looking to structure their training efforts. I stumbled upon the book when I started getting serious about training for climbing, and it has been foundational in my approach to strength training, injury prevention, and my mindset about healthy progression. So in this video, let's have a closer look at Ned Feehally's Beastmaking to see if it's a book for you. The book opens with sections about becoming a smarter beast, and I think this is where it's at its most valuable for climbers who are starting from scratch. The first 30 pages help decode the language of climbing training. You'll learn the difference between terms like plyometric and isometric exercises, or abductive and adductive movement. Feehally also explains concepts such as tapering and reversibility, so step by step you learn the terminology of climbing specific training. These starting chapters of the book also include a brief history of training for climbing over the recent decades. Feehally draws a thread from the dawn of fingerboards and homeboards to steeper climbing and innovations in climbing shoes, all the way to the induction of climbing into the Olympic repertoire. This historic overview is very broad strokes and warrants further research, probably in the form of a standalone climbing history book. These more introductory topics about training, language, and history build a foundation to maximize the learning potential of the book. On the cover and in the marketing for the book, you'll find the line, "A finger-first approach to becoming a better climber." So it makes sense that about half of the book focuses on finger strength. In chapters 3 to 9, you'll learn about finger and forearm flexors, about pulleys and tendons, and the role they play in generating force through your fingers. Feehally makes a distinction between active and passive finger strength and links them to different climbing styles. Active finger strength is the type of effort made in half crimp, full crimp, and pinch positions. And passive strength is linked to more relaxed grip types with an open hand, which relies more on friction and skin. The book guides us through these distinctions to prepare us for the chapters about how to train these types of finger strength. So, as the logical next step, the book features an introductory chapter on fingerboarding, as well as a more detailed chapter on 2 specific fingerboard exercises: repeaters and maximal hangs. Repeaters are a series of hangs and rests repeated for multiple cycles to enhance strength and endurance, while maximal hangs involve hanging from an edge with added weight or body weight for short durations to develop maximal finger strength. Special attention is later given to pinching, which involves gripping a hold using the thumb opposed to the fingers. This grip engages different muscle groups and adds variety to finger training. These chapters are a step-by-step guide to finger anatomy, strength, and training, and a cynical reader might consider Beastmaking to be an elaborate sales pitch for the writer's company's fingerboards. But come chapter 10, the book leaves the topic of finger strength to the side to cover some broader training concepts as well. I'd love to cover more books about climbing, so leave a comment down below with your favorite title and we'll read it and review it for the community. In the later chapters, Feehally explores various aspects of climbing training that are crucial for holistic improvement. Feehally dives into board training with detailed instructions and practical tips, making it accessible for beginners. He also covers endurance training, explaining aerobic and anaerobic energy systems, and provides specific exercises to build stamina. The book then moves on to exercises for the upper body, core, and flexibility to strengthen key climbing muscles and improve mobility to become a more efficient climber and reduce injury risk. Next, the book includes some quick session ideas, which boil down to suggesting a couple of exercises you could do during a more training-oriented climbing session. These sessions are designed to be efficient and very focused, allowing you to get a solid workout even if you're short on time. However, I think fleshing out a couple of sessions in more detail for climbers of different levels would have really benefited the actionability of the book. And going into more detail about implementing the exercises into a larger training plan would have proven very valuable. I thought it was a pity that there's no simple starter training plan example in the book, so I made two plans for you. In the description of this video, you'll find two simple 2-week starter plans with exercises from Beastmaking, poured into a structure that accounts for recovery time as well. One plan focuses on strength and the other on endurance, and the spreadsheets include detailed instructions on how to start and customize them. Finally, in the pro tips section, professional climbers share their insights, but the advice tends to be somewhat gimmicky and broad strokes, and the tips often lack the depth that readers are used to once they've worked their way through the book. For more substantial and tailored advice, you're better off visiting some of these climbers' own content that's available online these days. We have a video about 5 lessons you can learn from Adam Ondra's online presence, so maybe that's where you can start your journey. And that concludes our book review of Beastmaking by Ned Feehally, a book that I'd recommend for novice and intermediate climbers who want to start thinking more seriously about specific training for bouldering and that don't feel like diving down the rabbit hole of online content. Let us know what we should read next in a comment under the video, and there's no need to go anywhere else because you can subscribe to the channel and check out more videos like maybe this one.